know the charges. We don't know where they're going to investigate or who it's going to be.
But the one thing we do know, Jonathan Lemire, is this is extraordinarily stupid. It's extraordinarily stupid on so many counts. If you look at the timeline doesn't add up.
All right, welcome back. A Fox News alert. Attorney General Pam Bondi signed an order just about 45 minutes ago. It was released that directs a U.S. federal prosecutor to take evidence to a grand jury that's related to the alleged conspiracy to tie then 2016 candidate Donald Trump to Russia. All right, let's bring in Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley to react. Professor, it's great to see you, and I have many questions for you, all of them legal in nature, but I feel compelled, Professor, to start with one that maybe isn't so legal, and that is this. I know that I personally, and many people watching, have a bit of cynicism and fatigue when it comes to potential accountability for elected officials or government officials. So I want you to take today's news and tell me, do you think we should, watching, feel more hope today after this impanelment of a grand jury for accountability, or should we still remain somewhat cynical, somewhat fatigued?
Well, Will, it's a very good question. I don't think this is an excuse for cynicism, but I do believe it's a reason for continued skepticism. But there is still hope here. This is the first necessary step to finding out about the real Russian conspiracy. There never was a Russian collusion conspiracy. That was hatched by the Clinton campaign. They secretly funded the Steele dossier. They denied that to the media, and they laid out this very successful political hit job using the media, using the government. It's amazing how much the public still doesn't know. But in the last few weeks, this administration has given us information that we haven't seen before. I've been following this, writing about it for years.
Okay, so Pam Bondi and the Trump DOJ have ordered for an investigation, for a grand jury investigation into the findings that DNI Tulsi Gabbard released over the last couple of weeks. And according to the reports, new information has been found that throws the entire Russia collusion story into some new light. Now, this is a Fox report. Let's listen to MSNBC give their own opinion about the report. But before we look at their report on this specific story, let's take a look at how they reacted when Trump sat for his mugshot last year.
We now have the first mugshot ever taken of a former president of the United States. Here is Donald Trump's mugshot, which will instantly become the most famous mugshot in the history of photography. The mugshot of the 45th president of the United States will go from tomorrow's newspapers into our history books, where the only presidential mugshot will live forever. American high school history students will be looking at that photograph for hundreds of years. That mugshot will define the low point in the history of the American presidency.
This was the story during this season where the mugshot was released, and MSNBC and other left-leaning media outlets couldn't help themselves. They were so excited to see this. You can hear how excited he is that for the next few generations, this mugshot will be discussed in high schools. It will be taken apart and discussed about how this was the lowest point in the American presidency. Not one word about the fact that it appeared that the justice system was being weaponized against a former president. Now, let's listen to their take on this call for a grand jury investigation into the Russia collusion hoax.
Attorney General Pam Bondi has directed Justice Department prosecutors to launch a grand jury investigation into whether officials in the Obama administration committed federal crimes when they assessed Russia's actions during the 2016 election. That's according to a senior Trump administration official. The move comes after National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard claimed last month top Obama administration officials carried out a, quote, treasonous conspiracy against Donald Trump. She did not offer evidence of that. Gabbard said she is sending criminal referrals to the Justice Department. Joining us now, co-host of our fourth hour, contributing writer at The Atlantic, Jonathan Lemire, and NBC News senior executive editor for national security, David Rode. Guys, good morning. David, I'll start with you about this move from the Attorney General. What crimes are alleged here, and what about the statute of limitations, if you can come up with one?
We don't know what the crimes are that are alleged here. We don't know who is being targeted, and we don't know where this grand jury will sit. And all of that's, very concerning. Normally in the, prosecution process in this country, no one's is indicted, no investigation is announced, or anyone is indicted before a grand jury has heard evidence and a fellow citizen decides this other citizen should be charged with a crime. Here we have an approach where there's sort of the Director of National Intelligence makes a sweeping allegation, potentially that the former president of the United States was involved in a treasonous plot. And then you have the Attorney General announcing that she is launching a criminal investigation of this plot. But again, we don't know the charges. We don't know where they're going to investigate or who it's going to be.
But the one thing we do know, Jonathan Lemire, is this is extraordinarily stupid. It's extraordinarily stupid on so many counts. If you look at the timeline doesn't add up.
Once again, MSNBC running interference for the Democrat Party and for leftists. They are claiming that they don't know the crimes. The crimes are that a sitting president and a presidential candidate colluded to put together a fake official document that had no truth behind it. And then the DOJ has decided to investigate the situation. Now, whether actual charges will be brought, we don't know. We're just going to sit and watch the process. I've expressed my skepticism about whether these powerful people will ever see justice. We did see MSNBC celebrating the mugshot of Donald Trump. We heard them reel out the lines, and they never said anything about alleged crimes committed, alleged insurrection, alleged attempts to steal the elections. No, everyone in media stated that he was guilty of all of the charges that they brought against him. And when he wasn't convicted on any of those charges, a New York judge says to the jury, figure out what he's guilty of. And then they come up with 37 counts of a felony charge. And then that gave them the permission to call him a convicted felon. But when it came, but when it comes to Obama and Hillary Clinton, everything is alleged. We don't know. And this is crazy and stupid on all counts. Very predictable coming from MSNBC. They're having an absolute meltdown about what's coming. And I don't think it's actually the fact that anyone will be going to jail, but the fact that the huge scandal that is going to be uncovered by the grand jury investigation is going to severely cripple the Democrat Party and anyone who supports them. Well, these are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that this investigation will wind up with arrests and people going to jail? Or do you think this is just a political move to discredit the Democrat Party because of all of the lies that they've told over the last 10 years? Let me know in the comment section what you think of MSNBC's coverage of the grand jury investigation and what they did during the Trump legal troubles that he had. I don't want to call it what it is, but it was the weaponization of the justice system against the sitting president's political opponent. So let me know in the comment section what you think, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Leave a like and hit the bell icon so that when we publish fresh content, you get notified, because it helps out a whole lot.